This is no joke. This places our national security in jeopardy.
With his former boss unable to get a bond for $464 million, lawyer Michael Cohen believes it's possible Donald Trump will turn to Russia and Saudi Arabia.
We should be very concerned about where that money is coming from.
Trump has just days to come up with the money in order to stop the New York Attorney General from beginning to seize his assets. A point of laughter on The View.
Is Letitia James going to go, put a chain on Trump Tower?
Yeah,
and take it away from him?
She said that. He doesn't have the money. Nobody wants to lend him the money, in this country anyway. Who knows what's going to happen with Russia and Saudi Arabia, because they know that he doesn't pay his bills back.
So on Fox News, host Martha McCallum posed the question to Trump lawyer Alina Habba.
Is there any effort on the part of your team to secure this money through another country, Saudi Arabia or Russia, as Joy Behar seems to think?
Well, there's rules and regulations that are public. I can't speak about strategy that require certain things, and we have to follow those rules. Like I said, this is manifest injustice.
That is not a no. So naturally, Martha McCallum stopped Alina Habba and followed up with, "Excuse me, please answer the question. Is Donald Trump considering foreign entities for help paying the bond?" Oh, the Fox host didn't follow up? She let Habba drone on and on?
I do not doubt that the witch hunt, that the election interference goal is what was ringing steady and loudly and true throughout all these trials, frankly. And we're seeing it. It's the demise of our country, not the demise of Trump. So we'll handle it as we always have and keep our heads up and keep working hard.
Okay. Keep us posted on the effort. We look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you very much, Alina.
What? Alina Habba did not give a straightforward no? We're not considering help from Russia, Saudi Arabia, or any other foreign entity? Good grief. And of course, Alina Habba is the same Trump attorney who said a few weeks ago that Trump getting the bond money would not be a problem for him.
We have to post the bond, which is the full amount and some, and we will be prepared to do that.
Does Donald Trump have that kind of money sitting around?
Yes. I mean, he does. Of course, he has money. You know, he's a billionaire.
So he'll just write a check, Alina?
I'm not going to get into privileged information, but there will be a bond and there will be no issues with that. So that's all I'll say on that.
Okay.
A bond. No issues with that. Except in reality.
Donald Trump's lawyers have now disclosed that he is unable to secure a bond for his $455 million judgment in the New York fraud case.
They wrote in a legal filing the exorbitant and punitive amount of the judgment, coupled with an unlawful and unconstitutional blanket prohibition on lending transactions, would make it impossible to secure and post a complete bond.
He's got properties in Manhattan, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley, even his iconic $348 million Trump Tower, which, by the way, I think that's undervaluing Trump Tower, could be on the chopping block. Do you see that happening over the next 25 days?
No. No.
So he'll just write a check, Alina?
I'm not going to get into privileged information, but there will be a bond and there will be no issues with that.
Well, clearly there are issues. And what are the issues if Donald Trump seeks foreign help? Well, according to the law, Donald Trump could not get a direct payment from the government of Russia or Saudi Arabia, but there's plenty of wiggle room for Trump to get his bond money from a third party who was backed by Russian and Saudi interests. Here's former federal prosecutor Andrew Weissman.
He finds a third party. That is the one that's raising, for me, and I think a lot of people, national security concerns, because you really don't want somebody who's running for president and may be the president to have hundreds of millions of reasons to be beholden to somebody who has, put up the bond essentially for him. I was at the FBI, I was the general counsel, but everybody who is in the Department of Justice and the intelligence community has to get a clearance in order to see top secret, classified information. If I was beholden to someone to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, particularly if they were a foreign national, the chances of my getting clearance would be zero. Just wouldn't happen because there's too much of a risk. And particularly, there are obviously many foreign adversaries of this country that might view this as an opportunity. And that would be antithetical to our national security interests.
Over on MSNBC, former Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice noted that Trump has a long history of foreign financial debts, irrespective of where he gets the money to pay the $500 million bond.
And in the event that he has to take that money from an individual or an entity, whether domestic or international, that individual or entity is potentially going to have real influence over him. And so that is of concern when, in particular, when you add it to the reality that we know that, you know, he has a long history of foreign financial entanglements, and he's accepted money from the Chinese Communist Party to his properties. He's in partnership and invested with the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. There's just so many ways in which the whole stench of money from dubious places infuses his business enterprise. And so this would add more questions should that be the case going forward.
And here is Donald Trump's own former national security advisor, John Bolton.
He is consumed by these troubles. His family is consumed by them. And I think foreigners will try to take advantage of it one way or another. They may be doing it already.
They may be doing it already. Trump supporters say this is all media speculation and unfair smearing of Donald Trump. But the fact is, Donald Trump has repeatedly spoken about not honoring the NATO alliance or defending NATO allies. Trump has publicly said he would encourage Russia's Putin to have his way with countries in Europe that don't pay more to the U.S. for military defense. And those people who know Donald Trump the best, his former vice president, 2 of his national security advisors, 2 of his secretaries of state, his secretary of defense, a UN ambassador, they have all said that Trump is unfit to serve again as president. And now the lawyer who's trying to help Trump get through the legal hurdles, Alina Habba, is leaving open the possibility of Trump getting $500 million in bond money from foreign entities. Habba was asked directly, is there any effort on the part of Donald Trump's team to secure this money through another country, Saudi Arabia or Russia? Habba's response was, I can't speak about strategy, before giving a long-winded answer about how unfair the bond is, even though Habba said weeks ago that it would not be a problem. Donald Trump's foreign debts have been a problem and will continue to be a problem, and we've all been put on notice yet again. By the way, Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders recently hijacked a Fox News interview to drop a truth bomb about American workers' productivity.
To you about the 32-hour work week, it seems like Fox Business. It seems like Democrats want businesses to be taxed more, pay their workers.
Really? Is that what you think?
pay their workers.
Excuse me.
I didn't get to ask a question.
Okay, thank you.
Senator,
You want to hold it? Okay. We held a hearing on a 32-hour work week because what we have seen is that over the last 50 years, despite a huge increase in worker productivity, almost all of the new wealth has gone to the top 1%, while 60% of the people are living paycheck to paycheck.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular from RC7625 wrote, despite what Republicans and certain Democratic Party supporters say, Bernie is an American hero. Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, leaving open the possibility of Trump getting his $500 million in bond money from foreign entities. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.